I, Luciano B., humbly submit a toast to Yanderedev for becoming the most infamous indie developer in the history of gaming. Congratulations, Alexander Mahan. Enjoy your infamy. Okay, all jokes aside. Can I just let him get away? Excuse that. Damn it, I got some on my nose. Oh well. Oh, Yanderedev. I remember back when this project was first a new and big thing. 2014. Almost 6 damn years ago. It's been half a decade since this project came out. Let me tell you some big things that happened between then and now. Just to show you just how much time has truly passed. I left middle school. I went to homecoming twice. I went to prom. Got a girlfriend. Been with her for 6 years. And got my high school diploma. And am currently working. 6 years, Yanderedev. 6 damned years. Okie dokie then. Had you actually been coding efficiently, the game would have been out by the deadline. It would have been out before the deadline. Now sure, I'm not saying it would be perfect, because you're essentially planning on copy-pasting the rivals, essentially, other than cosmetic differences and the like. That's gonna get boring and really fast. So, what do? You threaten the developers of Lovesick, now known as Love Letter, that you're gonna commit suicide because they stole your assets. First of all, they're not your assets. They are Unity Store assets that you paid to use. They paid to use them too. If anything, they're using whoever built the assets, not your assets, Yanderedev. They're not even your assets. Now, maybe that would be the case if you truly made your own models and have been using them, but that's not the case. You said you're gonna make new models, but where the hell are the new models? I've seen the concept for the new models, but they're not in the game. Wow! On top of that, you silence the game sleuth or the gamer sleuth because he hurt your whittle fifis. Funny. You call everybody who's against you an SJW. Meanwhile, you're the one who bitches and moans and complains like a damn special snowflake. Funny. If you really cared about your fans and your customers, you would not be trying to spend your Patreon money. People are paying you to do this. You would not be spending the money on a second Switch. Why do you need a second Switch? I don't even have a Switch. So, you already have one. You don't need another. God, my allergies. You don't need a second one. Just have the one and be grateful. And if it's because late versus original, who cares? When I get one, I'm getting a light, and someone's planning on getting it for my birthday. I don't do surprise presents anymore. I'm an adult, so. But if it's because mobile versus not mobile, The original is fully capable of being mobile. I know somebody who takes the Switch everywhere. So if it's because of that, just use your original. You don't need to spend Patreon money on your personal wants. That money is supposed to be for you to code the game and for you to be able to live off of any money you make in the coding process, because yeah, I get it, you don't make much money doing it, but the reason why you're not making much money doing it is because you aren't coding the game. That's why. You're not working on what people are paying you to make, and instead you're, streaming 8 hours a day? 8 hours a day. Okay. Had I not been going through the shit I've been going through the past few days with losing a pet, losing my grandfather, my sister being away and no one being able to tell her about what happened, I would be working a regular schedule. Besides the bullshit I dealt with for the past couple of days, I work. I code. I build websites. That's what I do. So I'm actually doing something. Now, sure, when I get tired of coding, I don't know, I sometimes take 5-minute breaks in between and do something else, like write a story, write a blog, go outside, get a deep breath, get a glass of water, look at the news, simple stuff. But most of my day, from 9 o'clock a.m. to usually 6 o'clock p.m., is spent behind the computer, working. So, let's see here, let me do the math here. Alright, so 9. Yeah, that's almost 9 hours, so all of the time that I spend working, he essentially spends I spend working, he essentially spends streaming, live streaming on Twitch. Oh, how I would absolutely positively love to be able to be paid to play my favorite games and just have fun and interact with fans and be paid to do that. But no, that's not my story. I actually work to get paid. Oh, on top of that, I'm the one who cleans the house. I'm the one who tends to the animals, etc. So, my life isn't a walk in the park. So, if you, Yanderedev, tries to pull the whole ungrateful brat argument with me because I'm younger than you, you need a slice of humble cake. And you need one the size of frickin' Mount Everest at this point. You're literally being paid to code a game. You aren't even doing that right. You're too ignorant to see that what you are doing is wrong in regards to you getting all this money and just sitting on it and doing what you want with it and not doing what you're supposed to be doing with it. And you are an oversized brat to the point where you will scream at anyone if they see anything wrong with your coding. I don't code with JavaScript. Here's something you should know about JavaScript or the Unity script. Yanderedev. It's an outdated code. It's an outdated code, okay? Which is why everything is slow. Nothing works. That's why everything's slow, nothing works, and your loading times are atrocious. That's also because of your nested if else's, because the computer literally has to scrub through every single setting when it comes to if else's. So yes, sure, a single line of if else every once in a while is fine. But let me put this in perspective. Before releasing the first rival, you wanted 90 students and however many teachers. I'm just go out on a limb and say 10. So that is 100 NPCs. Now, every single student and teacher, okay, scratch that, every NPC or non-player character is coded using an if-else. So that's 100 different unique if-else statements that every single frame has to be constantly checked. So, that being said, everything is slow and absolutely grueling. And the more things you tack onto it, the worse and worse it's going to get, till eventually it's not even going to load anymore. And I guarantee you, if I tried to load that thing on my computer, and my computer isn't the newest, it's pretty darn new, it gets the job done. But say, my twin's computer, she has a gaming computer. It was designed for gaming. Now sure, it's on the older side, but it's had processors replaced over the years and all that jazz. That thing couldn't run. Period. And that's before all of the extra stuff was added. So this thing runs slower than Windows 98 trying to run Minecraft and failing miserably because it just physically can't. So, you need to stop sitting on Patreon money. You need to actually do what you say you're gonna do. Stop lying. Stop guilt-tripping people and saying that you're gonna commit suicide. Because, oh no, somebody made a game comparable to the thing that took me 6 years and did it better than me in 1 or 2 months? Get over yourself. That's because you sit on your ass and you stream all day and blame other people and spend the Patreon money on a Switch and a goddamn sex doll. You need to be smarter with your decisions. Because I don't know about you, but you splurge a lot. And you splurge like a child. And I'm saying this as somebody who isn't even 20 years old yet. For God's sakes, Alex Mahan. You're 30. At least I think you're 30 now. At least, at the bare minimum, you're 29. I am about a decade younger than you. Okie dokie. I was born in the Gen Z year of 2000. Late 2000. September the 28th of 2000. So, I'm not even 20 years old yet. I'm not able to drink. I don't go to bars. I don't do any of that. But even if I were that age, I would not randomly splurge because it's just a waste of money. Let's face it. Most people would expect somebody of my age to want to splurge on a car, possibly the newest smartphone, newest smart accessory, you get the picture. I don't splurge though. Probably the most expensive one of my possessions is either my computer, my Yamaha keyboard, which was a hand-me-down that I found in the back of a car that my parents were fixing to buy, so that was totally free, and my cell phone, but I paid that with my own money. No Patreon money here, I paid that off with my own money. And my laptop was just merely a Christmas present. I didn't get much besides that for Christmas. Like, I asked for, hey, I'm gonna need a laptop for working on stuff in school and maybe even playing games. Which, I don't play that many games on my computer. So, still got it. Didn't get much else for Christmas other than a chocolate bar, but I'm grateful. You know. Yanderedev, on the other hand, spent his Patreon money on a sex doll. I'm not even kidding. If you go into the subreddit, you're going to find something about that somewhere, and oh yeah, it's based on the character, I think, My Waifu? I don't pronounce it correctly. I'm not a weeaboo, so. But there is something about it in the subreddit, which I actually joined because, yeah, I'm a gremlin. I'm a gremlin at heart. #gremlin squad. So, apparently, he made one based on the character My Waifu, who, yeah. High school student. And he's, like, what, 30? And he outright admitted he's into underage girls. Why the hell are people still supporting that? He's a fucking pedo. So. Sorry, I heard something. So, on top of that, he's trying to buy a second Switch when he already has one Switch to begin with. Why do you need two? I don't need two Nintendo 3DSs. If and when I get a Switch, I'm not going to ask for two, I'm just going to ask for one, and I'm going with a Lite because it's cheaper and I can take it anywhere in my pocket. I don't need to hook it up to a TV. I kind of like going mobile. I'm mostly mobile with how I game because it's more convenient. I can carry it everywhere, and all you need is a charger and internet. Bam! But no, this guy has to have two because he wants to splurge because he's an oversized man brat. So once again, congratulations, Mahan. You have become the most infamous indie dev in the history of game development. And you have nobody to blame but yourself. Nobody. Good. We didn't choose for you to take money. I'm not saying that like I donated to you because I never did, because I saw behind your bullshit. But I heard of quite a few people who have and lost a lot of money because of it. There's nobody to blame but you. You did this. You're the one who's taking money from people. If you catch my drift. So maybe instead of blowing it off on sex dolls, body pillows, duplicates of consoles you already fucking own, and other meaningless mierda, you need to spend it on things that you need to finish the game. And if you refuse, then you don't have a right to complain about Love Letter being created. You don't have any right. The assets are not legally yours. You did not make them. You merely bought rights to use them. So, if they're using the same assets, you don't have the right to complain that, oh, they're stealing my assets. Those aren't your assets. You are just using them. You didn't make the models. Now, sure, there are a handful of models that you made. But the top amount of percent that is matches the percentage of the game's completion, which is under 10% at most. So, stop complaining about the existence of Love Letter, especially if all you're going to do is just use the fact that you're the developer of this game for clout. I advise you stop complaining about the existence of Love Letter unless you're actually going to start being serious about coding this game. Otherwise, you're just lying to everybody and lying to yourself. You don't own the trope. You don't own the assets. You don't even own the texture for the fucking grass. So stop complaining, stop silencing people, and stop calling people SJWs when you're clearly the one who behaves like one. You're censoring people because you disagree with them. Because, oh, mafifis. Blow me. People say that I, because I'm the way I am, tend to get offended very easily, but that's actually far from the truth. I generally don't give a damn what people say about me. You can call me ugly, you can call my voice obnoxious, you can say this, that, or the other. That's not gonna bother me, because at the end of the day, most of the people who say that shit don't know me in real life. As for you, Yanderedev, you're giving people a reason to bash you. And it's not because, it's not just random bashing. You're stealing money, you're throwing an absolute royal tantrum like a spoiled child, you're censoring people, you're trying to tell someone that you're gonna commit suicide if they don't cancel their own project, when I don't know, that person's actually doing what you said you were going to do, but aren't. You fucking ignorant child. You liar, you manipulate. And, let's see here. The creators of Love Letter aren't freaking into underage kids. Meanwhile, you ain't off to that. You're a damn pedophile. Don't you try to lie, you are one. So, Alex Mahan, aka Yanderedev, I don't have anything nice to say about you. You censor, you lie, you cheat, you steal. You're a pedo. You're disgusting. And you're an ignorant brat. And also, you are a total incel. Maybe you wank off to freaking underage girls because you can't get a girlfriend. Let me give you a little piece of advice, Yanderedev. You wouldn't expect someone like me, who's not very impressive. If there were such a thing as a male butterface, that would be me. Butterface just means don't really have an attractive face. I don't have a very attractive face. And again, you can't really see the whole of my face. I have a mask on. I kind of do that for anonymity in my character. Because, I mean, my character is a fox, and I don't have a fursuit. I'm a masker, not a suitor. I still managed to get a girlfriend. I've been with her for around 5-6 years now. About as long as it took for the game to develop. In fact, I think I've been with her longer than the game was in development. Yeah. So, here's why. First of all, I didn't pressure her into being with me. We just started out as mutual friends we met through a mutual friend, then became friends, and then became more than friends. That's it. All you really have to do is just have a social life. And then after that, I didn't say anything. I'm self-conscious as fuck. I mean, I'm ugly, so self-conscious. She asked me out. Okay. Now you might say, oh, that's usually the guy who asks the girl out. Yeah, you're dealing with a definition of self-conscious. I know that's my inner green man coming out, but hey. Still got a girlfriend. Someday we're gonna get married. Simple as that. So, don't be fake. If you're not cut out to have a social life, you're probably not cut out to have a love life. Because there is more to a relationship than sex. I am very romantic, but I'm not the most sexual guy out there. So, there's a lot more to it than just intercourse. There is a very social aspect to it. And you're right, Mahan, you would not be able to have a relationship. You're not cut out for one. Not because, oh, my ugly face, I've seen uglier looking men be in fully functional, healthy, happy relationships. But it's because, sure, the mug wasn't the most attractive, but it wasn't here that was good. You, on the other hand, if you had a relationship with somebody, it would be all take and take on your behalf. You'd expect constant sex, smooches on the lips, her to probably be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, even though that's not how it works nowadays. I don't see that many trad chicks. Hell, even my mom, who is ultra-conservative Christian, not a trad wife. No. So, you can't expect a woman to want to slave away for you when you don't really do much in terms of being a provider. In my situation, yes, I will spend my time coding and all that stuff, but I'm actually going to be working on stuff and pumping out things. Oh yeah. I got the bases, design, and basic stuff like that laid out for a website that's gonna cost me a lot. Not gonna cost me a lot, but I'm gonna get paid a lot for it. Not gonna give the amount, not gonna tell you what the site is. Just giving an example. But I have all that basic stuff laid out. Wanna know how long it took for me to lay all that out? 3 days. 3 fucking days. All I need is more explanation text, the logo, more color theory, and more photos and informational pieces. That is it. And when I get that out, paycheck, here I come. You, on the other hand, what are you on? Rival number 1? It's 2020 now. It's 2020. It's been 6 years. Yanderedev. I'm turning 20 later this year. I was a 13-year-old child when you started this. I was 13 when you started this. Think about that. I was a hormonal mess of a teenager. Still technically I'm a teenager, but not quite as a hormonal mess. I'm 19 now. When the game started development. You know, back before you actually attempted to make Yandere-chan look different than the Aoi template. I think that's what it's called. I'm just gonna call it Aoi. I'm not a weeaboo, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but you essentially just took the template, changed the hair and eye color to black from navy blue, and bam, called it your own thing. Maybe you can start calling it your own thing after you use your own models. Also, I can tell you have a fetish for school-age girls. Yes, I know that the school uniform that those came with were traditional Sailor Fuku sort of thing you see schoolgirls in animes. Here's the thing about that. In the real world, you don't see those uniforms on schoolgirls unless they're in middle school. That's right. It's one thing anime has all wrong. It's not high schoolers that wear those. It's middle schoolers. So, and he tries to say that, oh, all of the characters in the school are 18 years old. That's not how high school works. I went to high school. I graduated high school. Only one grade, and not even everyone in that grade level was 18. You could have kids from 14 to 18, or maybe 19 if they got held back a year. So, that would mean that either everyone in the school was held back, or that the school is entirely composed of seniors. Oh, and as for the nurse and the teacher, yeah, one of them is outright described to be a sexual deviant. So, as of now, I don't have any words. The people that I know who supported you for a while have stopped supporting you since they found out what you're really like. I gave you second chance after second chance after second chance. It's high time I stop. Because the past few weeks have been a testament to what you're really like. You're manipulative, you're childish, you're selfish, you're a narcissist. I'm not gonna end this on anything happy because this week for me has been shit between multiple losses. And I have to discuss this piece of garbage. This self-centered, bratty piece of garbage. I don't care if he's 30-something, I'm calling him what he is. I don't care. Some might say, oh, respect your elders. Had I not known that this guy was a 30-something-year-old man, I would have assumed he was a spoiled 12-year-old brat. Had he not been coding. Well, I would have assumed he's lying about the coding because what coding? I, for a while, have been trying to get my paws on his frickin' Discord link just to do a speed run on how fast I could get banned because he's that big of a brat. But I'm yet to get it. But when I get it, I am going to record it via X recorder or my screen recorder. And I'm going to put a timer to see how long it takes for me to get banned. That's gonna be fun. But anyway, I am done. And yes, I had to do a parody of the toast he did when I think it was a friend of his who stole something. I think he pirated a software so he could play Dota. Yeah, he hung out with a very shady bunch of people. No wonder why he's shady. So, anyway, that being said, Luciano out. Sorry about the lack of editing, I'm just done.